Hi, I'm Bill from CJ Pony Parts. As I mentioned before in other videos, a cold air kit and an exhaust system are probably the two most common modifications people make to their Mustangs, but they rarely come from the same company. Now, you all know Flowmaster is an exhaust company. When you have the resources available that Flowmaster does, it only makes sense to branch out in other performance products. This Delta Force cold air intake from Flowmaster is going to fit your 2015 through 2017 Mustang GT, and today we're going to install it on this white 2017 Mustang GT. This Flowmaster Delta Force cold air intake features an 8-layer reusable filter with a bell mouth, a hot quality ABS inlet tube, and all necessary hardware and heat shield for installation. Again, this will fit your 2015 through 2017 Mustang GT, is made right here in the USA, and does not require any tuning. Flowmaster has shown gains of 5% across the board for both horsepower and torque with its cold air kit installed. For this installation, you'll need a 1/4-inch ratchet, 7mm socket, 8mm socket, 10mm socket, 11mm socket, 13mm socket, an extension, 5/8 wrench, 11/16 wrench, 13/16 wrench, 4mm Allen key, T20 Torx bit, Phillips head screwdriver, cutters, pliers, and Teflon tape. The first step in the process is to remove the factory intake system. The first thing we're going to do is remove the engine cover to give us a little more room to work. Okay, now we're going to disconnect some hoses, and we're going to start with the master meter over here. Pull that off. You want to also make sure you separate it from the airbox. Disconnect the hose, the air tube in the interior. Push on this clip here to disconnect the PCV line. And push on this for the air line. Okay, now we're going to disconnect the clamp at the throttle body. Tug. And the last step for removing the air box is to remove this bolt over here on the fender well. I can remove the entire box as one assembly. Flowmaster came up with a rather unique solution for the sound tube. If you watch other videos, you know some places actually delete it at the firewall, which is very difficult to get to the bolt and also very difficult to plug it. What they do, actually have you remove it at this clamp right here, and then simply put a plug in here. With the cold air kit on, you won't even really notice it. With the factory inlet off, we're going to take out the mass air sensor now. This is going to get transferred over to our Flowmaster intake. All right, now we're going to take the sensor, grab the supplied gasket, and install it in the new tube. Only line up one way, so if the holes don't line up, just simply flip it around. Then you want to use the supplied hardware to screw it in place. Put that aside. Next, we're going to take the bell mouth adapter for our air filter and install it with the provided hardware onto the shield. We're going to install a bracket now for our factory fender bolt. These provide hardware. I'm just going to make this hand tight for now. Once we get the position right on the car, we'll go back and tighten it down. And the same thing with the other bracket. The short side goes on the shield, the long side goes toward the inside. Again, leave this one loose as well. All right, so the last step in preparing the shield now is to install this seal. You're going to start basically right here. Just work your way around the outside. cut this off right here at the bottom bracket. You just want to double check your brackets are in the correct locations. This one here is going to go to the bolt that's in the apron, the factory bolt we removed earlier. This one here is going to go in a hole on the side of the frame rail. So you want this one facing down. Now we're ready to install it in the car. I'm going to put the heat shield down into place now. Like I said, there's a factory hole down here you're going to use with the supplied hardware. It'll be a little hard to see. And over here, we'll reinstall the factory bolt. All right, now we can go back through and tighten the hardware. And now we can tighten up these brackets as well. Okay, now grab the nylon cap for our air tube here. Something to slide over it. Now we can work on the inlet tube. Now we're ready to work on the air tube itself. We installed them fittings. We're going to use a little bit of Teflon tape on these just to make sure we get a good seal. That facing just like that when it's installed. With these two, with the larger fitting is going to go on top, the smaller one on the bottom. Don't get these overly tight, just make sure they're snug. All right, now we're going to take the smaller coupler, use the smaller clamps here. It's on the throttle body side. Again, just get it snug for now. We'll make adjustments on the car. Just leave that on there loose for now. And then same thing on the other side. Get ready to put the inlet tube in now. Start by connecting over here to the bell mouth. And then on the throttle body. Get everything seated and tighten the clamps down. Now we can connect all the hoses. Now this car is a 17, so there's only two. If you do have a 15 or mid to even late 16, there will be a third connection as well, but the late 16 and 17 aren't going to use it. Okay, now we can plug in the mass air harness. And the last step is install the filter. Okay, reinstall your engine cover and your installation's finished. If you're looking for a cold air kit but don't want to tune your car, the Flowmaster is definitely one to consider. I mean, it looks almost OEM when it's installed, and the installation was pretty straightforward. With a large filter and direct inlet, should definitely make some power as well. Overall, figure about an hour or so, be back on the road in no time.